What's up everyone and welcome back to the UFC News Hub. Islam Makhachev is officially getting back to work, and fans couldn't be more excited. According to recent reports, Islam has already kicked off his training camp in preparation for his next UFC fight, setting the stage for a potential showdown that has everyone talking. It's looking more and more like the reigning lightweight champion is gearing up to defend his title against none other than Ilia Topuria. The buzz really started when reporter Albero Cano said, "I can confirm that Islam Makhachev has already started a training camp for his next fight," sending shockwaves through the MMA community. This piece of news came shortly after it was revealed that Ilia Topuria would be fighting for the lightweight title next, making it pretty clear who Islam's next opponent might be. The timing lines up perfectly with UFC 317, scheduled for International Fight Week, which only adds more fuel to the fire. Now, while nothing has been officially confirmed by the UFC just yet, all signs are pointing toward this epic matchup becoming a reality. But, as always in the fight game, it's important to take early reports with a grain of salt. Things can change quickly behind the scenes, and until both fighters are officially announced and posters start dropping, there's always a chance for last-minute surprises. Still, the idea of Makhachev versus Topuria has fans buzzing for good reason. Islam is known for his dominant grappling and rock-solid defense, following closely in the footsteps of his mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov. Meanwhile, Topuria has been on an absolute tear, bringing aggressive striking and a well-rounded game that could pose real problems for Islam. If this fight does happen at UFC 317, it would not only be one of the most anticipated fights of the year, but also a massive moment for both men's careers. For Islam, it's a chance to solidify his reign at the top of the lightweight division. For Topuria, it's a shot at making history and toppling one of the sport's most dominant champions. The fans are already picking sides, debating who would come out on top. Some believe Islam's experience and suffocating style would be too much for Ilia, while others are betting on Topuria's explosiveness and hunger to pull off a huge upset. One thing is certain though, if these two step into the octagon together, it's going to be fireworks. Now all that's left is for the UFC to make it official. Until then, the excitement will keep building, and the debates will rage on about who truly is the king of the lightweight division. Before we continue, subscribe and click the bell icon to help support the channel. A legendary chapter is coming to a close. Dustin the Diamond Poirier has officially announced that his upcoming bout against Max Blessed Holloway at UFC 318 will mark the final fight of his illustrious MMA career. Poirier, a fan favorite and one of the most respected fighters in the sport, leaves behind a legacy built on heart, resilience, and unforgettable battles inside the octagon. Over the course of a 15-year career, he captured the interim lightweight title, faced some of the toughest names in the game, and earned a reputation as a true warrior, someone who never backed down from a challenge. Now, the journey comes full circle as he prepares to face Holloway once again, a man he defeated in a thrilling showdown back in 2019. With both fighters known for their incredible toughness and striking prowess, fans are expecting nothing less than a war for the ages. Dubbed the last dance for the Diamond, this moment promises to be emotional not just for Poirier, but for MMA fans around the world. One final walk, one final fight, and a chance for Poirier to write the perfect ending to a legendary career. UFC 318 is set to be unforgettable. Will the Diamond shine one last time? There's been a lot of noise lately about Dricus du Plessis and rumors of a serious injury that could have sidelined him for months. Fans were starting to panic, wondering if the middleweight champ would even make it back this year. But finally, Dricus broke his silence. He posted on Instagram making it clear that he's healthy and that an announcement for his next fight is coming soon. No broken leg, no 6 months off, just a bit of suspense that kept everyone guessing. Meanwhile, over at Sup's MMA Preview, the situation was broken down in a way that echoed the frustration of fans. Sup's MMA Preview said, "Alright guys, Dricus has spoken and he's saying he's not hurt." Dricus put out a statement today after waiting a few days and letting all of us kind of squirm around thinking that he broke his shin and was going to be out until 2026. That's what the reports were saying. He's saying he was never hurt. The fight was never signed. He's the champ. He decides when people show up, and he released that statement out today. Kind of whack to make us wait a few days before putting out a statement. If you aren't hurt, Dricus, get your ass there at International Fight Week. Be the co-main event to Ilia and Islam. It'll be the greatest card of all time, Sup's MMA Preview said. The hope was that Dricus would face Khamzat Chimaev during UFC 317's International Fight Week, an event that's already shaping up to be stacked. Fans wanted it, media wanted it, but when Dricus laughed off the idea of him and Chimaev being the co-main event, it became obvious that the timeline wasn't lining up. Adding to the real story, Dricus' coach gave some crucial updates during a recent appearance on Submission Radio. Dricus' coach said, "We haven't signed a contract and the fight was never confirmed. We were talking about it and no injuries, man. We're fighting Khamzat. We're actually waiting for the contract, so it's going to be soon. Definitely not going to be International Fight Week. They've got something else planned for that. I'm sure everybody knows about what they've got planned. Also not 100% confirmed, but we're fighting Khamzat. We're waiting for a contract, so it's a done deal," Dricus' coach said. In simple terms, while everyone was panicking, Dricus was fine, just waiting for the paperwork to make things official. No injury delays, just a different event timeline. And if you needed more perspective, Kenny Florian, one of the most respected voices in MMA, shared his take too. Kenny Florian said, "Dricus had an injury, maybe even a broken foot or something that he was recovering from when he fought Strickland the first time around. I don't think he wanted to do something like that again, fight injured. So I imagine if there's an injury there and you're fighting someone like Khamzat Chimaev, you don't want to go in there anything less than maybe 90%, right, because of the challenge ahead of you," Kenny Florian said. Basically, after going through the Strickland fight with injuries, Dricus wants to make sure he's 100% ready before stepping into another war, especially against a savage like Khamzat. So based on everything that Dricus, his coach, and analysts like Kenny Florian are saying, it looks like an announcement is coming sooner rather than later. Fans just need to stay patient a little longer, because when it happens, it's going to be worth the wait.